welcome in our next guest who was in attendance at the State of the Union, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Mr. Secretary, it's great to have you on. Can you just give me your overall reaction to the president's address tonight?
I mean, I think he did a really great job at laying out a very, very compelling case for the strongest year that maybe any president's had, maybe in history, at least since Franklin Roosevelt's first 100 days. He's done all the things that he promised to do. He's closed the border, something that the Democrats said could not be done. He's literally closed them. They let 20 million illegal immigrants into this country over 4 years. He's reduced inflation to the lowest level in 5 years. Groceries are down, eggs are down, gasoline prices are down. The Dow Jones had 50 record weeks. The NASDAQ is at 7,000. He's leveraged $18 trillion of investments in this country. That's compared to President Biden's $1 trillion over 4 years. In 1 year, $18 trillion in investment. He's ended the nuclear threat from Iran. He's made peace in the Mideast and in 7 other countries. And he's delivered on MFN, most favored nation status for drugs. We now have gone from having the highest price in the world, something that every president has disparaged and promised to end, to now we have the lowest prices. Every president has promised to do that. Democrats, Republicans, Clinton, Biden, Obama. None of them had been able to achieve it, and he was able to do it. So those are a few of the achievements that he talked about. But it was, I think it was a very compelling case.
Mr. Secretary, the president has taken us to task in the media because we have not covered the most favored nation accomplishment. Can you explain it to the American people, in what that has done, the most favored nation? Because he throws that word around a lot. We in the media seem to ignore it. So this is your chance to, to explain why most favored nation, as it impacts drugs, what it's done.
Yeah, Greta, for the last 30 years, Americans have paid the highest drug prices in the world. We have 4.2% of the world's population, but 75% of pharmaceutical revenues come from our country. And we develop the drugs here. We do the innovation. Europe has been free riding on us. You could get a drug a year ago. You could get Ozempic, for example, and the list price in this country is $1,350. In London, in any pharmacy in London, you could buy that same drug for $88, and it's made in the same factory in New Jersey. Americans were paying 15 times what they were paying in London. And this is true for virtually every pharmaceutical. We pay 2, 3, or 4 times. And every president has been complaining about that disparity for decades, ever since I was a kid. And every president has promised to correct it. And President Trump did that in 1 year. We went into negotiations with the pharmaceutical companies. 16 of the 17 companies have now agreed to give Americans the lowest cost pharmaceuticals in the world. So if they charge a European nation a lower price, we then get that price or lower. And Americans can get these advantages today by going to Trump RX. We're going to see this across the board, and this is about 13% of health care costs. So it is going to dramatically lower health care costs in this country. And one of the biggest burdens for Americans is paying for pharmaceutical drugs. A lot of them split the drugs. They take only half of them, or they stop taking them because they can't afford it. And that's not good for our health. And President Trump has changed that. And I don't think, I was on the front lines of those negotiations, and I saw how complex and difficult they were. He didn't want us to bankrupt the companies, and he didn't. And he wanted them also to onshore their production, bring it back to our country. So he used tariffs to get the Europeans to raise their drug prices. So the innovation money is still there, and there's still enough. These companies, actually, their stock price went up afterwards. even though they cut their costs dramatically to the American people.
All right.
All right. When you talk to him next, tell him that Rob and I did bring it up because he took us all to task today at the luncheon, all the media, because we haven't explained that. So now Rob and I have now done it through you, Mr. Secretary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent explanation, Mr. Secretary. And that is an issue that the president is very passionate about. Come back and see us, Mr. Secretary. Enjoy the night.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.